This is the $895 Balenciaga Track Trainer Sneaker. But why would you spend your money on this shoe? Let's find out. What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and today I'm reviewing the Balenciaga Track Trainer Sneaker. As I'm sure you're aware, Balenciaga is a high-end designer brand, and high-end designer shoes command high-end designer prices. And in this particular case, this is an almost $900 shoe. But looking at it, unless you know what it is, you probably wouldn't expect that it's that expensive. Throughout this review, we're gonna try and figure out why the Balenciaga Track Trainer is so expensive, and we're also gonna try and figure out if it's something that you would wanna spend your money on. Jumping into the shoe, the first thing that you probably noticed was this crazy, almost mess of an upper. And I've got to say, in my opinion, it's a very messy looking upper. Over the last couple years, Balenciaga has been experimenting with the concept of mashing 3 different shoes together. They did it on the Balenciaga Triple S, and now they're doing it on the Balenciaga Track Trainer. And if you look at the design of the shoe with that in mind, it actually makes a little bit more sense. I'm not saying that I love the way this sneaker looks. In fact, I really don't, but I've got to say, I don't think I hate the design anymore. It's just not my style. Balenciaga says that this is a 100% leather-free sneaker. And for some people, that's a great thing. For me, leather on my sneakers doesn't bother me. In fact, I actually prefer it. But for a shoe that's made up completely of polyurethane, something else, what is it? Polyester, polyurethane, and nylon, it actually has a very premium feel. That might also be attributed to the fact that this sneaker is insanely heavy. We're talking like 1.5 pounds per shoe. That's not a joke. I weighed it. It's ridiculous. But to be fair, it is lighter than the Triple S, which is even more ridiculous. Starting off on the outermost layer of the shoe, you've got this white, almost skeletal feeling paneling covering a majority of the toe, the lateral side, and the medial side. A majority of this paneling isn't actually sewn to the upper of the shoe. It's only attached at the base and around the edge of the toe. So this paneling can kind of move freely and is only held in place near the upper by the laces. On the lateral side of the toe, you've got this black piece of 3M fuse overlay with the Balenciaga logo printed onto it. Also on the tip of the toe, you've got the sizing info embroidered, in this case, in orange. I'm a US size 9 and apparently that translates to 42 euro, which I've got to say seems right because the shoe fits fine. Beneath this white outer paneling layer, you've got a whole bunch more paneling in a ton of different colors. You've got grays, you've got black, you've got blue, and it all sort of weaves over top of each other, so it gets especially messy around the side of the toe and the midfoot. Beneath all of that paneling, on this particular colorway, you've got this bright orange mesh. I think I grabbed what's called the multicolor colorway. I'm not 100% sure on the naming of this particular color, but I figured if I'm gonna be spending $900 on a shoe that's already crazy looking, might as well go all out and get just the most ridiculous looking one. Continuing up on the shoe, you've got 2 different sets of overlapping laces, one in black, gray, and blue, and the other one in black, blue, and orange. You can either lace them in 2 separate knots or do what I did and just kind of knot them all together, which, I mean, it looks kind of crazy either way. Beneath the laces, you've got a lighter orange mesh tongue with a black panel that has Balenciaga printed in blue. Then moving inside the sneaker, you've got this extremely well padded sock liner that's very soft, that comes in gray around the ankle area and black on the back of the tongue. You get a very simple gray insole with the Balenciaga logo printed in orange on the heel. Surprisingly, the Balenciaga Track Trainer sneaker fits true to size, even though it looks like it's 2 to 3 sizes big. I'm not kidding, this shoe looks like double the size of any of my regular pairs of sneakers. And also somewhat surprising, considering the weight, this shoe is actually very comfortable. The padding kind of makes the shoe for me. It almost feels like I stuck my foot into a bunch of pillows. It honestly feels great. Now you might actually build up some unexpected leg muscles because of the weight, but on foot, it wasn't that noticeable. So even though spending $900 on a shoe retail does seem a little bit excessive, I'm happy to report that it is comfortable, which actually can't be said for a lot of other $900 shoes. Continuing back on the shoe, you've got more of that crazy paneling and some more orange mesh around the ankle. One thing I want to point out is that this shoe is already artificially dirtied, or as they call it on their website, given a washed effect. That translates to some light brown smudging on the white paneling, some gray smudging on the outsole, and some more sort of blackish smudging on the mesh. I'm gonna hold back a little bit and be nice and say that I'm just not a fan of that effect. There are other words I could use and other phrases I could use, but I'll hold back. I mean, people pay more money for jeans that are already ripped and jeans that are already dirtied, so I guess it makes sense that they would start doing that to shoes. Well, it doesn't make sense, but it doesn't surprise me. Moving around to the heel of the shoe, you've got this blue, almost foamposite feeling panel, accompanied by this padded blue panel near the top of the ankle. And then you've got this gray, semi-detached I guess, pull tab thing that has the track logo in the back. Moving down the shoe, you get to the crazy, kind of nuts, triple midsole outsole situation that almost looks like one outsole is stomping into the other outsole. From the side, you've got like 5 different materials and colors going on. You've got sort of a dark gray, a light gray with sort of a gloss finish, a semi-translucent orange part, a black foam part, a white foam part, and then this really wide, jagged orange part around the forefoot. In my opinion, the most interesting part of the shoe is actually found on the heel. It almost looks like this white and blue outsole is actually eating or consuming like this orange outsole part. And I didn't expect it to look like that. It really does look like they cut off the bottom part of one outsole and glued it onto another one. And what's really interesting is that there's actually different tread patterns on this upper part of the outsole and this bottom part of the outsole. But continuing forward from that situation that's going on in the heel, you've got a primarily orange and blue outsole accented by this glossy plastic midfoot panel in gray, and then you've got the debossed Balenciaga logo on the forefoot. Would you spend $895 on this shoe? In my opinion, the materials, the comfort, and the overall aesthetic of the shoe definitely do not justify that price. I think the motivating factor for buying this shoe is the same as all other designer goods, and that's the brand name. You're buying this because it's a Balenciaga. You're not buying this because it looks like a Skechers and a New Balance kind of jam themselves together. At least I hope you're not buying it for the aesthetics, because aesthetically, yuck. Leave a comment down below of what you think of the Balenciaga Track sneakers. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.